Alright. Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Th000 and Life taking place here on Concealed Hill. On the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have Life spawning as the blue Night Elf player. On the top right-hand side of the map, we have Th000, who did choose random as the red undead. Th000 versus Life here is a 1v1, and my apologies, for some reason there do seem to be a large number of Night Elf replays as of late. It could be because players are switching to Night Elf, or because a lot of games or a lot of high-level games are incorporating Night Elf, or something to that effect. But if there are professional players that you do want to see, Th000 or some other people that I do not showcase on my channel, please let me know. Follow me on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitch as well, and definitely if you do have a Twitch Prime subscription, do consider subbing me. I don't know how many of you guys out there are like me, just have Amazon Prime and have a free sub to give away every month. That does definitely help me out, as I am going to try to expand my content. Maybe I'll do a little bit of Magic. There is a lot of Magic Arena content already out there, but coming from someone who isn't the absolute best player, and you can yell at me and work with me as I attempt to get better. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. I'll cross over here. Ancient of War, Keeper of the Grove, no big surprises. Death Knight, Tomb of Relics, and a Crypt training up those ghouls. It is going to be perhaps a mass ghoul going up against a mass archer army during the early stages. Now, it is rather scary because the archers do deal a fair amount of damage with that range attack. And those volleys tend to come across very, very quickly, and that does end up becoming a problem eventually. As you're going to take a look, the Forest Troll Berserker will get taken down, and finally a Forest Troll Trapper. Forest Troll Trapper now taking down Keeper of the Grove, will not get to level 2 as he now makes his way back across. Meanwhile, back across here, ghouls being left behind to finish off the remainder of this Forest Troll Trapper Berserker creep camp, as the Death Knight is ready to perhaps use some Death Coils and finish off some units. Let's take a look back across down here. Death Knight, is it going to actually find the Keeper of the Grove and creepjack him? No, it is not. It's actually just trying to try and get some harassment. Skeletal minions coming up from the corpse of a dead rabbit. As you're now going to take a look at an archer who seems to be in a little bit of trouble. Is it going to be able to get away? There's one shot. If the skeletal minions actually went back to attack 2 or 3 blows with their skeletal minion normal damage, and then followed by a death coil, that archer could have been taken down. Meanwhile, however, skeletal minions now trying to get away down to 51 hit points. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 2, getting very close to level 3 as more skeletal minions getting hired up. Archers are going to be able to, well, finish off that there, and this is already not a good spot for Th000. Th000 feeding a little bit of experience without really making his opponent pay for it, but we are going to see a Tree of Life cancellation come across here. There's a detonation finishing off those skeletal minions right now. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove finishes off a harvesting ghoul. Nerubian Tower still not yet done. Keeper of the Grove trying to stay on the outskirts, make sure that, well, it does not get within range of this soon-to-be upgraded Nerubian Tower. Death Knight now makes its rounds over, trying to finish off this Tree of Life. It looks as though one skeletal minion will get taken down. Another skeletal minion could get taken down as well, but is it going to be enough pressure onto this Tree of Life, or will it not be forced to be cancelled? All right, skeletal minion gets a death coil. Th000 really wanting to keep this creep camp, apparently, as the archer is now going to go ahead and start doing a bit of shadow melting. This Tree of Life will get done. Ghouls are now making their way down, and a little bit of damage is to be had. Back down across over here, multiple archers are just trying to hide themselves. Tree of Life is going to be coming up here, ready to go. Are the ghouls going to be able to make a play? That is the question now, as the ghouls are now making their way back down. This is a large number of ghouls. You got to be careful here. This Tree of Life could easily get surrounded here in just a moment. There's a death coil. Death Knight. Wisp now trying to be brought over to do a bit of repairing. There goes another Wisp. Level 3 now on the Keeper of the Grove. There goes a ghoul. but the Tree of Life will get taken down. All right, Death Knight does have enough for a Death Coil. Death Coils it in time. Archers are now making their way over, trying to get in a little bit of extra bit of damage as the ghouls are going to get picked off. Keeper of the Grove does have enough for another entangle once the cooldown comes to an end. And is it going to turn back around and try to get a one ghoul? Yes, it will. That ghoul is going to have a very bad day. Death Knight may try and deny it, and I believe the deny was successful. Death Knight sitting at level 2, Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3, as the units are going to retreat and regroup. Now, Th000 wants the rebound. He invested a lot into that bit of harassment, and his Keeper of the Grove from the opponent is now sitting at level 3. He's looking to perhaps get this expansion up and running, but as you know, undeads generally have a harder time expanding because, well, you don't really train more than 5 acolytes early on. You don't need to construct the actual building, that necropolis, to train acolytes there. And on top of that, well, bringing a sacrificial skull does definitely help, as we're now looking at the remainder of the units about to get finished off. Wisp are strategically placed all across the map. Meanwhile, where is that Keeper of the Grove? I don't see him anywhere. All right, where is that Keeper of the Grove? Oh, Keeper of the Grove inside the base right here. My apologies, could not see it inside there, as that Goblin Alchemist now running amok. Lich now currently out on the field as well. Let's take a look. Damage going to start to add in. Ghouls getting taken down. Death Knight show up to the party. Lich is out and about. There's a Frost Nova slowing things down, as one archer will get taken down. Another archer will get taken down as well. Skeletal minions popping back up, as well as the archers could end up getting taken out as well. All right, multiple units getting focused down. 19 supply compared to 33. Th000 definitely hurting from that one. We are getting up an expansion. We're getting up a ziggurat off over here. It looks like this was the Scroll of Town Portal, or the detonation just made it go away. We're finally going to get into a haunted gold mine off to the north. There was a detonation to remove some of that blight, as we should be getting more and more acolytes being transitioned off over here. All right, a lone single wisp, not going to be able to do much anymore. We are going into one ziggurat. Ziggurats are extremely, well, powerful in terms of base defense. They are towers that provide supply naturally. Ogre Lord going to get finished off here, and Life is going to be in a great spot in the middle portion of this game, as long as he doesn't lose this alchemist. All right, an alchemist, level 1 alchemist, lost at the hands of creeps. I am absolutely disgusted watching this as a commentator. You never lose your units generally against creeps if you can avoid it. But losing a hero, even a level 1 hero, is just a grave miscalculation. Acolytes now making their way over here to the ziggurat. We are seeing this entangled gold mine about two-thirds of the way through. Another acolyte about to get finished off here, unfortunately, as the Keeper of the Grove does get to level 4. All right, big damage here. Force of Nature, Death Coil onto an archer. There goes another unit here, as the Death Knight still trying to chase down these archer units. Archer down to 140 hit points. Let's take a look. A little bit of damage could be added in. Meanwhile, back off to the north, the haunted gold mine suffering a lot of damage here. Acolyte now gonna try and survive, as we are gonna go into a staff of teleportation. There goes one Force of Nature. The remaining 2 will get finished off. A Death Coil heals the acolyte here. Are we going to get into some repairing as well? I do eventually believe so. Death Knight finishes off that last unit. 26 supply compared to 34. Economic advantage for Th000. The expansion, very helpful now, but will he be able to mine from it long enough to really make it worth it? Back down to the south here, Ogre Magi going to get finished off. Alchemist finally gets the level 2. He's the one now with the Cloak of Flames, as he does deal or gets into that front line significantly more often. Lich, Death Knight now show up to the party. There's a Frost Nova, Scroll of Healing to try and counteract. Hippogriffs show up to the party as well. Hippogriff Riders for that anti-air attack. Little bit more points, piercing damage, as the Alchemist is just nearby saying, you know what? Let me get a little bit more experience. Keeper of the Grove, you can stick around though, even though you're at level 4. Now, Acolyte 5 acolytes here ready to go. Nerubian Tower, Spirit Tower with a crypt. We could be going into double gargoyles. No, going into web on those crypt fiends. And this is going to be a very big deal. If you can shut down those hippogriffs, even if they dismount, you are taking away a good supply, a good amount of supply, and getting experience for all of your efforts. Death Knight comes across with the Death Coil Steel there. Meanwhile, Lich or Skeletal Minions now looking to back away. Hippogriffs, many of them with riders on the back of them. Hippogriff riders all here ready to go. Skeletal minions now making their way over. You are taking a look. This hippogriff rider down to 140 hit points, 136. Has to be very careful. As you can see, a death cloak could easily finish off that unit, but I don't know if the kobolds or these units did in fact finish that one skeletal minion off there. Alright, still no obsidian statues as of yet, and this is the big surprise. We don't see a slaughterhouse. Halls of the Dead is now out, slaughterhouse now being added, but this is significantly delayed. Normally the Death Knight and the Lich have that slaughterhouse for obsidian statues for more mana at this stage, and that's really when Undead seems to find their footing, having not to worry about mana on their heroes, and then having a passive heal as well. That is extremely powerful. Meanwhile, back over here to the what I will call the 4 o'clock position, Hippogriff Riders finishing off the remaining Forest Troll and Ogre Warrior. Death Knight Lich, level 3, level 1, compared to a level 4, level 3. Night Elf with the definitive advantage, but the economic advantage, is it gonna start to become too much? 50 over 60 compared to 50 over 50 now. Keeper of the Grove with a big hero experience advantage over his Death Knight and Lich counterpart, but is it gonna be enough? Creature attack upgrades, 1-0 upgrades already being added. More Crypt Fiends being added, 1-0 upgrades here. If the Keeper of the Grove perhaps finds units in transit once more, that could be the end of the game. Meanwhile, Acolyte being brought over to repair this haunted gold mine. Alright, finishing the last of the Ogre Magi once more here. Forest Troll High Priest and Forest Troll Trapper. It looks like they will get taken down. Alchemist will stay at level 3. Forest Troll High Priest and Forest Troll Berserker will end up getting, well, felled as well, as we're looking at some sentry wards being dropped. Alright, easy whip right for the picking, taking it out, no problem. 1-0 upgrades still, and we are now going into finally, creature carapace upgrades for higher armor on those Crypt Fiends. Hippogriff gets ensnared down, however, an entangle going back the other way means that that Crypt Fiend cannot really do all that much. Can't attack back. Death Knight is going to get a Death Coil. Yes, does get the Death Coil off. Hippogriffs are all right across over here. Death Knight gets in the harm way to try and protect those units, as the Force of Nature could end up getting taken down. 1 or 2 more shots should do it. There it goes, as the Crypt Fiends are now making their way back down to the south. Let's take a look. Still 1-1 upgrades going up against, well, not quite sure, as their units are not really well together. 0-0 upgrades. So a 10% damage increase and a 10%, essentially almost a 10% damage, or not damage, but hit point increase as well with that additional armor, as the Hippogriff Riders now make their way off to the north. Alright, Death Knight now makes its way inside here. You're taking a look. Skeletal Minion, or not Skeletal Minion, the Force of Nature is now trying to make it way inside. There is a Nerubian Tower with that cold effect that does cause problems for the Keeper of the Grove, who may try to join in on this fight. Acolytes pull in and pull back out, as you're going to see Acolytes come off of this gold mine and still cause a tremendous amount of problems. Skeletal Minion going to get finished off here. Are we going to see some webs? Yes, we are. Hippogriffs now getting completely taken down, and losing part of your army just to just a silly web transit is a big deal. There goes one Hippogriff. Another Hippogriff, however, going to be able to make its way back out. Death Coil is Death Knight trying to catch up to that Alchemist. Alchemist needs one more shot, and it does get taken down. Death Knight now sitting at level 4, though taking a surprising and commanding lead now after being behind for much of the game. The economic advantage has really started to take hold, as he is able to translate those additional gold into units into a more favorable matchup. Meanwhile, his opponent down over here to the bottom right has yet to mine anything from this entangled gold mine. 0 or what, negative gold in terms of expected return on value, since he has not gotten a single gold the bloom from out of this entangled gold mine. Well, he may end up doing that now here in just a moment. Let's see. Yes, there he goes, finally starting to mine things out. Lich sitting at level 2. Death Coil onto the Lich. More units getting taken out here. Ogre Magi, is it going to try and finish off this Crypt Fiend? Death Knight is just in the midst of all of this fighting, and it looks like he'll be able to live and fight another day, as we are looking at Vampiric Aura now on that Lich. Vampiric Aura, Death Knight now going to be able to generate a little bit of hit points while engaging, but that is pretty much it. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove coming across to come in with the Creepjack, does not see it, and moves along his merry way. Or if he did see it, he decided not to engage. 4 Stroll Berserkers, all that is left. Tome of Agility +2. Who is going to pick that up? Death Knight and Lich ready to run back home, as we are looking at, well, I don't see the Keeper of the Grove anywhere. Keeper of the Grove back down across over here. Gonna find some Crypt Fiends. Crypt Fiend number 1 now taken down. Skeletal Minions gonna try and make its way over. 1 Skeletal Minion taking a lot of damage here. Down to 200 hit points and dropping 223. Looks like he will be able to break free here. Or are we gonna see a Death Coil? Yeah, Death Coil right there to save that Crypt Fiend's life. Alright, was it level 3? Level 3 Entangling Roots. Not often seen, so that is a very, very high damage spell indeed. 45 damage a second. Very high indeed. And it also neutralizes and roots out a hero. Back down to the south, Ancient of War, Ancient of Wonders, all here ready to go, as the Death Knight and these Crypt Fiends are now making a big push down in from the north. Lich should have no problem clearing out the Ancient of Wonders. The question is going to be, is he going to be forced to Scroll of Town Portal first? If you're the first to get out of Town Portal, then you're no longer dealing damage towards your opponent's units. All right, let's take a look. Moonwell about to get finished off here. Meanwhile, over here at the 3 o'clock, or yeah, the 3 o'clock position, Alchemist is going to get to level 4 here without much of an issue. Level 4 is the same as the Death Knight at this point. A level 4 primary hero equaling the level of a level 4 secondary hero. Alright, heading back off to the north here. You can see that Alchemist has both Healing Spray and, I believe, Chemical Rage. Goblins now making, or sorry, Ents now making their way over. What is happening? Where are all of these units going? Hippogriffs trying to finish off some of these Ziggurats and some of these other remaining units, as a lot of damage is to be had. Meanwhile, let's take a look back down to the south. Crypt Fiends are looking to finish off all of these units here. Go after the full Moonwells if you can. Taking the full Moonwells means that there is less healing during the night, as you want to save that mana, some of it at least, for the next battle. 67 over 60 supply right now for Th000. Meanwhile, life is sitting at 62 over 50. Both are currently upside down. I wonder how that's possible, unless a number of Ziggurats were taken out. Yep, well, there's 1 Ziggurat taken out, so that is the reason why there. All right, Scroll of Town Portal back down to the south here. Gold Mine is now starting to be under, well, proper excavation? I don't know. Yep. Anyways, let's make a look back off to the north here. Lich now coming in with an Orb of Corruption. Crypt Fiends, Obsidian Statues making their way through, trying to push their way through. Meanwhile, where's the Death Knight? Death Knight now picking up a Scroll of Protection, Scroll of Healing, and Scroll of Town Portal. I'm not sure if that is the first Scroll of Town Portal or a second. Now, let's take a look. Frost Nova onto all of those units here. Web trying to finish down. There's a Roar as well. The Destroyers need to perhaps make a bit of a play to just try and eat some of this up. There is a Dark Ritual giving that Lich plenty of mana here ready to go. There's another big Frost Nova, as the Obsidian Statue is just trying to heal up that Lich now. All right, more damage to be had. The Alchemist pretty much 0 additional armor, only at armor of 3, and that is indeed a large amount of a good amount of armor for most cases, but the Alchemist has a larger hit point pool and miraculously a low amount of armor. All right, here comes the engagement. Destroyer is going to go ahead and get some absorb magic in. There is that web trying to finish down multiple units. All right, there goes one. We could see the death of another one here, right there. There it goes. And yeah, this is just not going well at all for life. Th000 gonna absolutely take this game after some decisive battles. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.